Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I just got a delivery in the mail from the slow boat from China. It is a DC rated circuit breaker, I guess you could call it. 250 amp rated at 1000 volts DC. It's made by this company called TOMZN, T-O-M-Z-N. I've seen a lot of their stuff on AliExpress, which is where I got this. Seem to have pretty good reviews. There's a way of reviewing, I guess, companies or stores there, and they have a pretty high rating as far as good customer service as well as good purchaser feedback. So this is something that I'm going to use between my inverter and my battery bank slash bus bar area. So just mostly as a means of disconnect. I will have fuses, the Class T fuses, I'll have those in line as well. So this is more for just like a breaker type situation, which I know that everybody feels like they need. One of the things that I noticed initially whenever I pulled it out of the box was the negative and positive and negative. So I kind of wondered if there was some sort of cross thing in there. I know some of those PV disconnects, like you have to, it's a weird way of doing it. So I just wanted to double check, and let's double check this guy just to make sure it doesn't shut off on us while we're working on this guy. But you can see the left side to the left side, touching there. You can see there's connectivity there. And then the right side, the positive to negative, there's connectivity there too. So I know that there's some people that have touched on this about how they're considering it flow from one to the other, and then coming back from one to the other, and it's the flow of what they're talking about. I know for, in the States that we're usually like positive to positive and negative to negative. I say that all the time when I'm connecting stuff, because I've blown a few fuses before, just not thinking and just doing it, and Will Prowse, how he says positive, positive, and negative to negative. And I say that all the time now, just because I want to make sure I'm doing everything right, especially since I'm stepping up in voltage, and it's could be a more disastrous consequence. But you can see it's left side and right side. If I go to the left side here and the right side here, you can see there's nothing. And then the same with the left side at the bottom, the right side at the top, there's no connectivity there. And then if you do the two bottoms, no connectivity there. And then the two tops, there is, sorry about my hairy arm there, there's no connectivity there. It is just left side and right side. Another thing I noticed is how thick these, I guess, bus bars are. Super thick bus bars. Really robust to hold that 250 amps, let it go through there. It does have a trip, I guess, to test, which I did, and it is a pain to get this thing going again, but it is in the on position, you can see, and let's go ahead and trip it. So it tripped, and you can see again there's no connectivity there once it's been tripped. To get it out of that situation, all the way back off, and it is heavy duty. So back in the off position, and then click it back on, click it back off. One nice thing I noticed is it does have a really positive click, and you can tell it's spring loaded because you're putting tension, and then all of a sudden it pops over. The same in the off position, you're pulling it down for tension, and then all of a sudden it pops into the off position. So that's kind of nice to have that in a breaker. Coming from overseas, we'll say. Most things are from overseas anyway. So this uses an M8 hole, if you want to say that, connector. This is for a 4-gauge cable, a 4 AGW cable, and you can see, I don't know if I can see that very close, but there's plenty of room in there for that. This is actually a 2-watt lug, and you can see the 2-watt lug fits in there just fine. So you can put pretty large lugs in here, depending on what battery configuration you're using there. As far as the bolt itself, it's got some already pre-fastened washer and lock washer on there, and it uses, my dirty Craftsman, 6mm hex wrench, to go on there. It's nice. It's got the pass through here. You can just pop it in. To mount it, the only thing I can see, the way to mount it I can see is it's got a couple of holes top and bottom here, and you can pass it through, and then there's a stop on the back right here. It does have some, like, I guess, fire resistant or spark resistant material on the back, as well as where your lugs are going in, and then on this side as well, where your lugs are going in there. So that's kind of nice. But I just thought this was a really cool thing. I think I got it for $40 compared to the other one that I was looking at, which was not even rated at 250 amps. It was $160, I believe. No, $113. It was $113. And so it definitely is a lot cheaper than that one. Oh, there goes my multimeter turning off. Definitely a lot cheaper, and I'm hoping it's going to be a decent quality. Like I said, I'm really going to use it more as a disconnect, on-off disconnect more than anything. But if I could have something that also has some breaker slash trip qualities to it, that's okay as well. And again, it wasn't super expensive just because I did get it off AliExpress. You know, you can get some pretty good deals out there. You just got to watch what you're buying. I know a lot of people will get their BMSs from there. I've gotten a couple from them before, and it's worked out fine. They do just fine. It's an inexpensive way of getting some stuff, so we can get everything going. So it doesn't bother me to save a few dollars. But now that I have this, I'm going to look at the distance between this and my inverter, start to get everything mounted. I'll show you guys a video of it all mounted up and everything. And then I actually want to do one of the Victron, I think it's the power in, the link system. And so I can run up to 4 batteries into that guy. I also think it's 1,000 volt rated as well. So it'll have some pretty beefy bus bars in that. So I'll have it connected to this guy and then have it go into all the batteries with some T-class fuses in there as well. And I probably will do the hack that they do to have at least those A&L fuses in that bus bar, just to have an additional means of protection. You can't have you can't have too much protection. So yeah, so this is it. Just a little quick video showing you guys something that I'm going to start putting in place on our property to try to get us off grid. So hope you enjoyed it, and if you like it, subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to put out more videos for you guys and showing us the journey that we're taking towards becoming a little more self-reliant and a little more off grid. So thanks, and have a good day.